All right, everyone. Welcome to today's media exit interview featuring head coach Latricia Trammell. We're going to treat this just like every other press conference we've done all year. Because it is remote, there is obviously no one in the room. So I just ask that everyone please use the raise your hand function, and we'll try to get to everyone. We're going in 15-minute increments, so please just be aware of that. If it tends to go a little long, we might not be able to get to everyone, but if you have any follow-ups, please feel free to just shoot myself or Katie a note. We'll do our best to get you taken care of. So we'll start off with Peter Warren. Peter, go ahead, sir.
Hey, LT, good to see you again.
Good morning, everyone. Good seeing
Uh,
you.
what are your goals for this offseason to help get the Wings into an even better position come next season?
Yeah, just continue to grow personally, continue to stay connected with the players. We had great exit interviews, and we talked about enhancements. We talked about the incredible season that they had, and we'll just continue to move forward in a positive way.
What did you most learn from those exit interviews with the players?
How proud of the season that we had, and that was a great foundation to build on moving forward.
And then switching notes, the WNBA is pretty much implied that they're going to announce expansion tomorrow. How do you think the expansion will impact the Wings?
Another game on the schedule. So someone else that we got to prepare for. I think that's obviously, there's mixed emotions about it, but anytime you can grow our game, I think it's the right choice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Andy, go ahead.
Thanks, Andy. Hey, Latricia, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It was really enjoyable covering your team this season. Um,
Thank you.
I mean, you guys were a championship contender all the way
Appreciate,
through.
I
Um,
appreciate you.
and so congratulations, really. Um,
Thank you.
uh, can you give us a window on the work that you'll be doing in the off season, day to day with this team?
Well, many are going to go overseas. So that's going to be watching them. And like I said before, staying connected to them, continue to getting out and working with our organization of how we can do better and how can we grow to make this even a better journey for our players. I'm going to broadcast. That's something. So stay connected to the college players. Working with Greg Bibb. He does as we all know, does a fantastic job. Yeah, so that's just going out and staying connected and continuing. I'm already working on day one for next year, next season. I know that sounds nuts, but that's just what I am. I'm not very good at not working on something moving forward. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next chapter.
Are you involved in the scouting process at all?
I am. Greg, obviously is collaborative. I mean, he makes the final decision, but the assistant general manager, Travis, will go out and watch games. And so that's what helps too when I broadcast, because I will broadcast probably 19 games. And so that's going and, watching practices and staying connected to college coaches and seeing players. So it's really beneficial.
Well, look, I hope you have an enjoyable off season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Siobhan. Siobhan, go ahead.
Coach, what have these last few days been like for you as far as reflection and just kind of giving yourself some grace, but at the same time preparing for next year, like you said?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I'm still struggling that it's over. And I always tell, people that I have to keep reminding myself that we went beyond the call of duty, to be honest, of what we wanted to accomplish. And so I keep just thinking about that, because I'm one that will say, I wish I was playing on the eighth. And I'm just that's how I am. But I just keep reminding myself as how well that we did in the players' growth and in this team. And so I'm going to continue to build on that, but still, I haven't rested yet, to be completely honest. But I'm proud of what we did.
Coach, from me to you, just thank you for everything, all the interviews, the chest bumps. I appreciate that.
Well, I can't wait to do it again. Thank
Christian,
you.
go ahead. We can't hear you, Christian.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yep, all good.
Yes, yes.
Good morning, Coach. Hope you're doing well. First and foremost,
Thank you. You
I
too.
just want, thank you. I just want to congratulate you on the great season, your first season as a WNBA coach.
Thank you.
You know, as great and historic as the season has been, though, what have you learned most about Latricia the coach and Latricia the person?
I have reflected on that, honestly. And I one of the things that I am proud of is that I stayed true to myself, because I could have got caught up in chaos at times, and just being back as a head coach, first time in the league. And I'm just proud that I stayed true to myself, and continue to build relationships, to do the best that I possibly can to make it a positive environment. Trying to change, the culture that we want to create. So I was really proud of that, and like I said, I'm just glad that I continued to stay true to myself.
And one more, if I can.
Sure.
Speaking of players all season, whether it be players, staff on the team themselves, they've just spoke really glowingly about you and your approach and the way that you've come about business, and also the players and coaches as people themselves. What do you think as far as the structure of how you've installed this kind of culture, and what are you going to do in the next season to kind of build upon that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for growth, and I appreciate you saying that, because these women were incredible. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better first season, to be honest, to go on a journey with, and that's this team and this organization. We have one of the, I got to give it, say thank you again to Greg Bibb and Bill Cameron for giving me the opportunity, because I do not take it lightly. But moving forward, now that I understand how the organization works, how getting to know the players and how they respond to different ways that you try to get to the next level, and how you can coach them and how they respond to that, will definitely be an enhancement to get us to the next level.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Christos, go ahead, sir.
Hello, Coach. Hope you're doing well, first of all. I would like to ask you, speaking about your relationship with your players, what is that thing that you are most proud of from the beginning of the season until now?
I stayed consistent. I'm a big communicator, and so I stayed consistent with it. I mean, I touch base with them every 2 weeks individually. Let them use their voice. I said that since day one, that I wanted the players to have a seat at the table. And so I listened, took advice at times, made them feel like they had some ownership, that they didn't rent a position while on our team. And so, like I said, I was proud of that, and we're going to build on that.
All right. Next, I had a couple questions submitted from Jasmine Harper, who wasn't able to just use the camera function as she's in a loud spot, Coach. So what's an area of growth you'd like to build on team-wise for next season?
I think just continuing to be disciplined on the little things, just take it to a next level offensively, and really focusing on the defensive part too. I think that's a big growth area for us, and really hone in on what I've done in the past defensively. So that's something that I'm extremely excited about.
And one more on Jasmine's end from Winsider. Were there any games or series matchups that you were most proud of your team for battling through this season?
Every one of them. I mean, that's you got to think, when we first started, losing Lou, losing Diamond, losing Tierra for 10 games. So having that different look, from going small back to big lineup. COVID running through, at times. I mean, I think there's a lot of adversity, and for these players to respond like they did and continue to make history, being a top 4 team and securing that home court advantage, winning a playoff series, and then getting to the semifinals for the first time. I think that was every bit of that I'm extremely proud of.
And then one last one from Miss Dorothy, who says hi. She's in class listening.
Well, hello, everyone. Hi, Dorothy.
She said, and you touched on it briefly with Peter's opening question, but hoping you potentially can expand. What are 2 or 3 specific goals for the team as you enter this offseason?
1, go for a top 3 spot for next season. Be in the top 5 defensively and continue to be in the top 3 offensively. We were 7th in defense, top 3 in offense. So we got to continue to build and take it to the next level. But I would like to see a top 3.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions for Coach?
I'm going to say this really quick before we get off this Zoom, but I appreciate everyone for your coverage, for your love and support, for growing our game, taking the time out to even be here this morning. I can't thank you enough. So thank you for making my first season one that I'll never forget as well.
Christian, go ahead. Looks like we got 2 more, Coach. Christian, we got time for 2 more. Christian, then Nikias.
Hey, Coach, I just had one more for you as far as the team and the process this season during your first season as head coach. What point did you realize, hey, I can do this, we can do this, this team has what it takes to reach to the next level?
I think when we finally finalized our roster, because it was going back and forth a little bit due to injury, as I mentioned, and T being gone. And then when Greg finalized our roster and really could lock in on that group, I knew it was going to be special.
Thank you.
Nikias, last one. Go ahead, my man.
All right. Hi, Coach. I hope you're doing well, first and foremost.
Thank you.
I got in a little bit late, so I hope this hasn't been addressed already. But naturally, you enter a new spot as a head coach. You have your own vision of what you want your team to look like and how you want them to play. And you kind of have to bend that towards your personnel. Once you sprinkle in some of the injuries that you had to work through, how close was the team to shaping into your vision versus kind of the adaptation you had to do?
Yeah, I mean, that's it goes back to, I will say this, when I first started, even the interview process, the team looked different, right? I mean, there was quite a few. We only have 3 returning players from that team, and so I had to shift a little bit about the philosophy wise, what we wanted to do offensively and defensively. And I'm sure glad that I had to shift because Greg got it right with this roster, and I know that he's excited to expand on it and get us even better. But I think that was the time when I knew that goes back to the other question too of how good we were going to be. I thought if these players lock in and they buy in, we're going to have a chance. So I just kept preaching it every day.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. If you'd like to hold on, we'll be right back with Satu Sabli following Coach Trammell. So feel free to just hang on the Zoom. We'll be right with you. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's a good one. You should have started with her. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Coach.